So happy Ram Navami to whoever is celebrating. So since it's Ram Navami, I thought, let me talk about Hinduism and try to bust some myths about it. And let's discuss Hinduism and let's discuss how so many things are wrong in the mythological characters, especially female characters. And there is so much to question about a lot of things. But well, if you are someone who is too religious, a blind bhakt, if you are someone who doesn't use your brains and wants to follow something blindly, then please pause this video and watch something else. Like, I don't want to read any butthurt comments. Okay, I don't want people attacking me for trying to use logic or trying to question things, as a feminist or as someone who believes in humanity more. ठीक है? Hello everyone, this is Calliope and today we are going to discuss about Hinduism. Yes, we are going to look at some of the myths which are there. Let's find out if it's true and what is exactly Hinduism. People just keep bashing each other on social media and YouTube videos ke niche bhi comments you'll see, my religion is superior, my religion is like that, your religion is like this, you cow worshipping people, and Islam is a peaceful religion, and Christianity wale kuch apna bolenge. It's so sad that religion is supposed to actually bring people together, and religion is it should actually talk about love and peace, but in the name of religion people kill each other. In the name of religion there have been riots, people are fighting for Ram Mandir and Masjid, and then there are terrorist attacks in the name of religion. All this really makes me sad, definitely, and I'm sure it makes every one of you sad. Of course, people who are idiots will be like rejoicing and उनका अपना ही कुछ चलते रहता है, like they are just going to fight with each other on the basis of religion, twisted for their own advantage. So let's start the video. Now let's understand first of all about Hinduism. Hinduism is a very ancient religion. It is the third largest religion behind Christianity and Islam. Now, some people argue that it is not a religion and it is a way of life. My mom had told me that there are 33 koti gods. 330 million if I'm not wrong, right? 33 koti is 33 crores. That's a lot of gods and goddesses. अच्छा है ना, like we have so many options. आज मंडे है, चलो शिव जी को पटाते हैं मुझे प्रमोशन मिल जाए, या मुझे अच्छा पति मिल जाए, और आज ट्यूसडे है, चलो गणेशा के पास जाते हैं मंदिर में, एंड लेट मी जस्ट प्रे टू हिम दैट मुझे 80% मिल जाए मार्क्स इन एग्जाम्स. सैटरडे it's Hanuman's day. So we have so many options. We have then the goddesses also. There is the goddess of wisdom, goddess of wealth. Yeah, so कितने सारे options we can just choose. आज मेरा मूड नहीं है इस भगवान के पास कुछ मांगने का, चलो इसके पास ट्राई करके देखते हैं. Okay, Lord Shiva is not hearing my prayers, let me go to Lord Ram. So now let's discuss some of the myths and whether it is true or not. So first let's talk about idol worship. Yes, like I mentioned before also, we have different gods for different days, and for example, like before you start any new thing like a new business, or if you get a new house, new property, you open a new office, a restaurant, anything, for that any new thing has to be done with a Ganesha Puja. Okay, Lord Ganesha's puja has to be done. You know, there is the Gana home and I don't know what else, but that is like, he is considered to be like someone you should go to, like pray and ask for blessings. I don't know what this noise is. Is that a cat? There are too many kids also playing. I think today is a holiday for a lot of schools and colleges and bank holiday also. So then, of course, then there is, like I said, Lord Shiva. He's considered like, you know, someone who is very bhola, as in very innocent. But then when he opens the third eye, and you know, he can get angry also. So every god has its own significance. Then we have Lakshmi Puja during Diwali. So we do the puja of whatever little gold ornaments or money we have. So I don't know who uh, painted or who made these idols, who started it. We seriously don't know that, or maybe I don't know that. If you know about it, please write down in the comments below. Um, so there is a story behind every idol, you know, every god. Like if you know about Ganesha's, you know, like elephant head, you know, how his own father Shiva, you know, actually punished him, and all that story. If you know, go and read about it. I'm not going to go into the detail. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it's I don't understand what is the need for getting too many idols and all. Like if you watch movies like Oh My God, so it was discussing about how, you know, religion is also like a business. You know, temples and they have so much of donation, and then you know there is always this whole business of, you know, selling these idols, and get this locket and you'll get a lot of fame and fortune and this and that. So I'm not someone who is too much of an idol worshipper, but there are people who do that. For me, I'm not sure when it started. I don't know, I just find it like a business. Myth number 2 is, I know, like, you know, there is so much of this debate going on about the beef ban. And personally, I've mentioned this so many times that I'm a vegetarian, but I don't force anyone to become a vegetarian and stop eating beef or stop eating chicken, fish, whatever. So I don't like this fact that, you know, whatever is happening, it is wrong. There are a lot of Hindus in Kerala who eat beef and they have been eating it. There are some Hindus who eat beef or they have eaten beef, you know, in the past. I don't know, like food and all these things change, you know, like because of invasion and because of, I don't know, a lot of things. Everyone's culture is different, so who am I to like tell someone to not eat that? About worshipping cows, yeah, cows are considered like very sacred because, you know, cow gives milk, and from milk, you know, you can make curd. And if you don't kill the cow, like the cow can give milk, and then a lot of other products are made, you know, from the milk. So I think that's the reason people do not really like to kill that mother cow. Um Worshipping, as in, there are some festivals or there are some, like for example during Shraddh, people give or offer food to the cow. So I don't know, is it that belief that some of their ancestors have now become cow? You know, unki atma hai abhi, like maybe in this life they have become cow or something like that. So yeah, basically we just respect all living forms. But then let's face it that a lot of Hindus actually eat chicken, fish, mutton. And yeah, there are a lot of youngsters who eat pork, beef, everything, because they want to try food, you know, new food. So myth number 3 is about the caste system. Now, A lot of people argue that it is not about the religion, and this has just happened over the years. People have just, I feel, used it for their advantage. I don't think so in our Vedas and Upanishads and all caste thing is actually mentioned. I've not really read about it. I've definitely may have learned it in history, or I don't really remember that much, but I do know this, that people will try to exploit things just in the name of religion. So caste was actually based on the occupation, during ancient times. So like a pujari is a Brahmin, or then there were the zamindars. So then there are the business class, and the people who clean the area, they are the shudras and stuff. So I think this is just done to exploit people, and of course now things are changing. People are definitely choosing to rise above all that due to education and good jobs, and so I don't think so Hinduism actually supports the caste system. Number 4 is that we don't have a specific religious book. Like people say that Bhagavad Gita, is like the Bible for us. But then there is like so many texts and scriptures, like the Vedas and Upanishads are like ancient scriptures which are there. So we have so many options, and we should actually read that if possible and try to understand our religion, or try to understand this way of life, if you want to call it that. Like I have definitely, as an Indian kid, I'm sure everyone has watched the Mahabharata and Ramayana, and there's so much which is wrong, which was shown. So I have a problem. I definitely have a problem, which we are going to discuss in the next point. Now, the myth number 4, we are going to discuss about how women are portrayed in these mythological characters, or in any religious stories also. I don't know half of it, whether it's even true. I seriously don't know. But then if you like, for example, today's Ram Navami, so if you actually have seen at least the Ramayana, and you will be like arguing about the fact that about Sita's Agni Pariksha, which she was asked to give to prove her chastity, because she stayed for such a long time with the enemy Ravan. So then it makes me question that why are we actually worshipping this guy, Ram? So I don't know what is true and what is not. So these things make me definitely question things. Then there is Draupadi, in Mahabharata. So she was like, because their mother said, कि जो भी लाया है बांट के खा लो, or something like that. So she was like, she had to basically be a wife to all the 5 brothers. And then of course during that game, wasn't it Shatranj, when that Vastra Haran happened, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? What is this? This is so wrong. And then the god has to come. Lord Krishna has to save her. So all these things are like beyond my understanding. And it just shows that why are these female characters so not strong? Or why don't they speak up? Like I've mentioned that, definitely our Vedic scriptures and all, they do not tell women that, they have to behave in a certain way. In fact, I have read that during really olden times, we really had a very good administrative system, and all that Mohenjo-daro and all these times also. Everything was really perfect, and I'm sure that women did not have those kind of rules, and like forget about the mythological characters, half of it I just don't understand what the hell was happening. I think people just use religion to dictate terms to women. Like in Islam also, the parda system and all that. Like, okay, fine, I'm someone who doesn't judge people, like who wants to wear burqa, who wants to stay in that hijab and all, it's their life. But like in Hinduism also, we have the ghungat system, the parda system is there, I don't understand why in front of the elders, in some temples it is there, they have their own significance. I really don't understand what is the whole thing. So I think people just use religion to just put this fear in people's minds. Then definitely there is the during periods you can't go to the temple. So people have been fighting that. But I'm sorry, these things are beyond my understanding and no one has the answers. My mom doesn't have an answer. I'm sure anyone else's moms doesn't have an answer. And like, you can't go to the temple, you can't read the Hanuman Chalisa during periods. Earlier it was like people used to not go in the kitchen and people used to not do this and that. So I'm like, these things are beyond my understanding, and I definitely don't follow this and I don't want to follow it. So it's really funny that in India, especially in Hinduism, like, we have a lot of goddesses that people worship, but at the same time there are a lot of rape cases. At the same time, women are not treated well. I'm not talking that every man is a monster, but it's happening. It's happening every few minutes. It's happening. I mean, right now I'm talking about it and someone might be getting raped, molested. I feel sad. If the law was in our hands, honestly, we would have just chopped it off. Like, seriously, I feel like carrying like a knife or something in my hand every day as I walk out of my house. Myth number 6 is about karma is fatalistic. Now, the reality is that yes, a lot of Hindus do believe in karma and good deeds. We definitely give importance to that, and we believe that our own karma is in our hands. So the basic goal is to achieve salvation, mukti from this life, this bondage of life. So we believe that every action, every word we speak, the way we behave with people, it will have consequences in our future. We also believe that some of our bad, especially past karmas, might affect our next life too. So yeah, in that sense, we do believe in 7 lives, if I'm not wrong. We also believe that, if we do bad karma, we'll be like, we might not be human being in next life. I don't know, some kind of that shit is there, like. So anyway, all this karma talks is only, like, as I've said, just to have mukti, moksha, liberation from this cycle of rebirth. Seriously, sometimes I also feel like कि next janam ही नहीं चाहिए मुझे. So that's it from me, folks. I hope you liked the video, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment below and let me know what do you think about the points I have mentioned. And yeah, please let me know if you like the video, if you don't like the video. No, please don't tell me if you don't like the video. And I just want to take a moment to thank you all, whoever has subscribed to my channel, who like my videos, who comment on it, who follow me on my social media pages, who tell me about my videos, my posts, that they really like it. So they get inspired, whatever it is. I hope my videos make a difference in your lives. I hope my posts make a difference in your life. And I just want to make sure that my videos make you think. My videos should make some difference in at least one person's life. Okay? So yeah, please share this video with your friends and please subscribe if you're liking my videos. If you want to check out my last video, it's somewhere here. Until next time, it's bye-bye from me. Take care. Have a great week.